Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's installment of Align's Daily Dose of Advice, our way of bringing you valuable insights and thought leadership from business experts from around the world on various topics that will hopefully help you and your business. My name is Eugene Turk. I'm the Vice President of Business Development at Align. If you'd like to learn more about Align, you can always go to our website at aligntoday.com. And my guest today is Brent Sapp. Brent is a partner at Newport LLC, where he helps guide entrepreneurs through complex operational problems to identify what they must focus on and what they can ignore. He is a product innovator, an author, an entrepreneurial activist, and a firm believer that business owners are economy heroes. His own entrepreneurial experience spans multiple industries, including healthcare, education, and software. And over the past 10 years, he has worked with over 1,000 business owners, many of them in the Inc. 5000. Brent, it's always nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
I know certainly I have been speaking to a lot of people recently, and I'm sure it's a topic of discussion generally in the business community about companies that are going through a pivot as a result of the COVID-19 business disruption. And I understand that you have had several companies that you work with undergo pivots in their product or service offerings. I was wondering if we could start just by having you sort of tell us about some of those companies and the pivots that they have undergone.
Sure. So one of my clients has a military simulation business. They're in Huntsville, Alabama, and their clientele that's actually for the Black Hawk helicopter, and their clients span the world, and it's very important for them to be able to get with those clients and do a demo. Well, up to this point, they have pretty much done them on site. But we had a discussion, we kind of brainstormed a little bit, and they saw, I mean, they have, great programmers. So they decided to create a very robust online demo experience, we are just about ready to launch that. And it started less than 90 days ago. What this will do is to obviously save them a lot of money, time, and now that this is becoming kind of the new normal of interaction, it's going to work out really well. And so, secondly, I've got a VoIP client that has a company in that industry, and their marketing normally was attending meetings and promotion that way and on site. They are now pivoting to a very robust digital strategy,
Mhm.
which will certainly save them time, effort. But also, I mean, it's the new normal in that is that there probably will be a shift in the meetings that are available. And then finally, and this is just the third of several, but I have a client that has a maintenance business, a very strong legacy maintenance business that works with schools and businesses. And this client had the opportunity to possibly license a sanitation product
Mhm.
that is much more durable than the regular product, and certain it has to wear off, not wash off, which would be fantastic for gyms and schools and things of that nature. So he is putting he's certainly keeping the legacy business going, but he's pivoting into this opportunity to move the legacy business to a scalable business.
And so, how did those companies, or how do you recommend that other companies like them, sort of go through the exercise of identifying the pivot opportunities that might be out there?
Yeah, I think that they really need to, most of my clients are very aware of their market. They're in touch with their customers. They know what the customer's needs are. But look and see, as it relates to the elements that are changing as a result of this pandemic, like communication or like marketing and things of that nature, like doing something that really wasn't probably going to work before but will now, and certainly in categories like communication, disinfectant, sanitation, things of that nature that industries are going to be strong.
Um, once a company identifies the pivot opportunity that may exist out there, what are the recommendations or suggestions that you have on how they execute on those pivots, particularly execute quickly, uh, during what I think many people would consider a very difficult business environment?
Well, and it's a great question. And what's happened with my clients is that what we are doing an online 90-day strategic plan. I call it the MICON mission concept, identified by a special forces friend of mine. But during that conversation, we're building out a very simple but powerful execution plan. It's very tactical. And during the build out of that, uh, what happens on a number of occasions is these ideas surface. And we actually do a pivot into the strategy we were going to build out to what makes more sense to build out at this point. But and when we have this build out, and I have a process I take them to, and it's usually to build out in a couple of hours, but then I help them over time to implement it online.
Mhm.
But this is usually this kind of strategy as a team is not very common. It's actually a competitive advantage to do this because you're able to move quickly. Everybody's on the same page, and you get the right things done.
I would suspect that most of the Align users are fairly familiar with creating a 90-day strategic plan. That's sort of what our software is used for. How is a 90-day MyCon or sort of pivot execution plan different from a what I would call a more strategic, a more traditional strategic plan that we might have been, creating pre-pandemic or may someday get back to when this is all over with?
Yeah, I would say, and by the way, Aligned is a fantastic platform to do this on. It's robust but simple. Most strategies are not as tactical and execution action oriented as they should be.
Uh-huh.
The 90-day plan actually helps the business owner and the leadership team to do something they probably haven't done before, and that is to get the team on the same page with strategy. Ironically, my partner Doug Tatum and I, over the years working with Inc. Companies, we found we did make some data on our own and realized that over 90% of companies, their leadership teams are not aligned on strategy. This helps them to develop a habit to do this, not only to get through the 90 days, but to move on and create another MyCon's mission concept and keep going.
Sounds great. I mean, we certainly encourage that type of strategic planning and obviously the execution thereof. Brent, our final question that I ask everyone that comes on the Daily Dose of Advice: what is the number one piece of advice that you are giving your coaching clients right now?
Well, I'm encouraging them to bring me in. And usually, we're working on other operational issues, but I think the most important thing that you need for a company, a business owner, and team is to have someone that has experience that can help to guide and implement the plan at least during the 90 days, because it's a change in behavior. It's not a big change in behavior, but it's a change in behavior. So to have someone that's been there, done that, that can help them to get started, get on it, and make it part of their SOPs, it makes all the difference.
Sound advice. Brent, always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you for joining us. For those of you that would like to learn more about Brent, you can visit the Newport LLC website at newportllc.com. Again, if you'd like to learn more about Align and our features and functionality, please go to aligntoday.com, and we hope that you will join us on our next daily dose of advice. Till then, thank you so much, and we hope that you make it a great day. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you.